welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Rex.
I'm Daniel.
He is a level 3 whiskey sommelier.
Where's my, I'll get it.
Blah, 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 you don't matter. Elijah Craig, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Small Batch. And I predict that we have some good comments.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, here we go.
Let's get started. Here we go. We're drinking Elijah Craig.
Yeah, I've heard of this. It's just a small boutique
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah. So one of the oldest names in bourbon history, this is Heaven Hill, is in charge of Elijah Craig now. Now they claim Elijah Craig invented Kentucky bourbon. Sort of dubiously.
Okay.
All of our favorite bourbon historian, Michael Veach, he basically says that's highly unlikely. But what he did do was he did make bourbon. He was a Baptist preacher who moved an entire group of people like a cult all the way out to Kentucky when they were offering free land in the bluegrass state, and they started making whiskey, and he started adding aged chunks of wood into his, and it would taste better, and and things like that. But when he writes about what he did in journals and letters to other people, he doesn't start mentioning wood for like 30 years after the date that they started saying he did it. And so Michael Veach's point was, if he's really been doing it for 30 years, how come this is the first we hear of it?
Okay, so it sounds like it's one of the scenarios where we're gonna make a claim because you can't prove it otherwise.
That's right. We like those kinds of claims.
Yes. My great-great-grandfather actually wrote the last third of the Constitution.
That's science.
Yeah. Yeah. And
my great-great-great-grandfather was the second president of Texas.
Prove it.
Actually, I can. Maribel B. Lamar.
You'll find out you were adopted.
Yeah. Let's drink whiskey before this gets out of hand. Now, we have some really fun comments, so we're going to talk comments with this bourbon after we drink it.
Yeah. Well, and we'll talk about the bourbon. Don't worry, this is still a whiskey show. I have become very aware of how little we talk about the whiskey. So, Daniel, if we actually edited down these videos to the parts where we only talk about the whiskey, they'd be about 90 seconds
Okay,
long.
so I'm just going to say, go back to that video when you weren't here.
Yeah.
How much did I talk about whiskey?
I'm saying.
The whole damn time.
That's fine.
So guess whose problem this is?
Yours.
Guess who creates this problem?
You.
You do.
You have to overcome my
We shall overcome.
Granted, it's a big presence. You need to overcome it with your supposed knowledge about whiskey.
I love this. Is just a classic bourbon. There's nothing bad to say about it. They were in a big uproar last year because they eliminated the age statement. It used to be Elijah Craig 12, and then they started just releasing Elijah Craig, and people flipped out. Yeah. Now, I don't have a problem with it, but I do have a problem with how it was communicated. Like most mistakes that are made in the bourbon industry that I encounter, I find it's more of a problem of communication and marketing than it is a problem of actual process.
Sure.
But this is a small batch. I'm not sure what the age range on this is, but it's friendly.
Yes.
Very friendly.
It's friendly.
Not overly candied.
It feels nicely balanced. I suspect this would hold up very nicely with some ice.
It would.
I think there's enough.
It's almost a little too smooth for... I like rough, aggressive bourbons with ice. Because when you bury them with ice, they still taste like whiskey.
Now, for me, this is balanced, but it's not balanced and weak. There's some big flavors in there.
This tastes as good and complete as you would expect from somebody who's been making whiskey this long.
Yeah.
It's just well done. Nothing stands out too dramatically, but it's not boring. There's a lot of heat in the throat on this one. I'm going to try to do the sit in the mouth thing.
Would this be characterized as a classic bourbon? Okay. Yeah. So anybody that likes bourbon, I'm sure, has had Minnie and Elijah Craig.
Now this is a 47% alcohol. That's kind of high proof.
Comments?
We had quite a few. So
you can't read.
I wonder what water would do to this bourbon.
Should we have ice up here sometimes?
Yeah, we can totally do that. We got an ice machine downstairs.
Ooh, fancy.
All right. So I'm going to go back in time a little bit because we shoot so many videos at a time, we take several days before we catch up to what's actually happening.
Well,
now I'm going to go with my favorite comments
all right.
in the last week.
All right. Well, before...
When it popped up on my phone, I laughed out loud.
Well, this one may be that same comment.
Yeah.
But supposedly, I haven't read it. Supposedly there's a comment that said, man, that guy in the button-up, which was me.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that one.
No.
Yeah, that guy in the button-up.
No.
It's an ass hat.
Total ass hat.
Yeah.
And my reply is, yeah.
Yeah. You're just now noticing?
It's a very astute observation.
All right. Now, so you remember our video about Welsh whiskey?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I was
trying to...
making fun of Wales the whole video.
The only way you can make fun of me is to go back hundreds of years.
And one of our friends, I have no idea how to pronounce his YouTube name because it's probably Welsh related. No, he's actually English. So he comments and he says, oh yes, we most certainly do have internet in Wales. And that was the only thing he said. And I got that on my phone notification and I cracked up laughing in the store. Because I'm like, this is too good. So I just replied, Rex is going to love this.
Sickladish. I'm going to take a stab at it. Sickladish.
Sickladish?
Yeah.
All right, done. And then he says he can spoil it in that he's actually an Englishman living in Wales currently.
Oh.
And but he dug the reviews and he brought some other. He wanted to give the Welsh whiskey a try, but he brought some bourbon with him, and I can't remember what it was. Gentleman Jack. He brought some bourbon with him in case the Welsh whiskey wasn't that good.
Always come prepared.
Yeah.
It's the Boy Scout motto.
That's right. That's right. Now, I also noticed that Tyga, what's his name? Right there. I can't pronounce that one either. Man, I gotta get better at pronouncing names. So he's been commenting a couple times, and I dug it.
Tyga.
But he gave us because we had that service error message, and Chad.
Well, hold on a second.
Chad went beep, and sort of that.
Hold on a second.
He says, "I nearly choked on my whiskey. Thanks a lot, guys." So Chad, from now on, anytime you bleep thing, I did agree. I hated that noise. Anytime you do error messages,
You told him to do that noise.
No. Yes. No. I said bleep out our cursing. Okay, Chad, we lost power on the video just as it was getting good. Here's what I need you to do. Do one of those error messages with the beep technical problems. And he bleeped out the edit.
Anyway.
It doesn't matter. From now on, Chad, make it light like elevator jazz or something. Something friendly and not precocious.
Here's the big, complicated technical reason why we had that interruption. You didn't replace the battery.
Oh yeah, the camera died. Which is someone else was that was commenting. Lewis was saying we have the really great production. Thanks, Lewis, by the way. And if you want to know what the setup is, actually, at some point we can probably talk about it.
Yeah.
But there will be a day when you can use this identical setup practically.
Sure.
And it's not that expensive, and it's only one camera, and you could probably do videos of this or close enough to this quality with your phone.
Yep.
When you get the setup that we can tell you how to use.
Yeah.
But thank you.
And speaking of this, we have the camera in a little bit different position today. Let us know if you like it in the comments. We shifted it over about 5 feet. There's a really nicely done subscribe sign back there.
You really had to draw attention to that.
I did.
Yeah, you're just happy I printed out an 8.5 by 11 photo of you.
You have one on your ceiling over your.
All right, so what would you do while drinking Elijah Craig?
Man,
like, or let's say this. Who would you send to buy a bottle of Elijah Craig? If someone's like, tell me what whiskey I should buy, Rex, and you're like, Elijah Craig.
No, I'm doing what would I do?
What would you do?
Yeah.
I'll do what would I send?
That would be fine. I would be out of town. I would be in a very fancy hotel, way out of my league, right? And I would be in the hotel bar, because I got too much time in between whatever the hell I'm doing in that city.
Right.
And I would be dressed up with clothes that are so nice. I never wear these clothes. And I would be trying to look like I know what I'm doing.
And then you would order Elijah Craig.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Because,
not a scotch?
No, I want to look like I'm
So is this hotel in the South?
No, part of like the lemmings in the suits.
Oh yeah.
I'm becoming one with the people. Not that Elijah Craig drinkers are lemmings.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I'm not raising eyebrows because when I'm in public, I don't want to have a lot of. I just want to fit in.
All right. So I would recommend Elijah Craig for someone who's not sure if they like bourbon and have never really tried it. Normally they drink other whiskeys.
You don't think this is too dramatic?
No, I don't. I would think if you want a gateway into what is sort of a just classic bourbon, Elijah Craig.
Bigly balanced. That's what I would call Elijah Craig.
Bigly balanced.
Bigly balanced. Big flavors, nicely balanced.
All right, fair enough. Well, till tomorrow, may your crazy stay this side of legal.
May you return before we have time to miss you.
Cheers.
Also, subscribe.